Hey guys, how you doing today? I'm Andrew from Rival Productions, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Panasonic GH5. Now, if you don't know what that is, you should. It's been making waves in the smaller video and film scene. It is a 4K camera from Panasonic that is rivaling Sony's A7S II. It was just released last month and they were on back order for a little bit. So we got the first shipment in from B&H. This camera is capable of doing 4K. It's also capable of doing 180 frames a second at full HD. It is also capable of doing 60 frames a second in 4K. Also, really cool part is that it's capable of doing 10-bit 422. So that's really cool for especially doing visual effects, doing anything with color grading. Honestly, depending on what you're viewing the footage on, you're not going to see a big difference, but usually you're not going to be outputting in 10-bit 422. You're only going to be outputting to 8-bit 420. And most monitors aren't really capable of seeing the 10-bit. But if you're going to be doing any green screening, any visual effects, that extra color information is really important. It's really helpful, and it's finally at a price point that is where people can buy it now. Like this camera runs just under $2,000. Like it's literally $1,997 depending on where you go. So we went through B&H. They usually have the best prices. So let's get to it. Basically, all I want to do today is open up the box, take a look at what's inside, and maybe turn it on. All right, so let's start this up. So here we go. So I'm gonna pull that flap down. Ooh, here's all the accessories that you could buy. And here is some pamphlet-y information and the guide. I say we don't use that because I'm probably gonna mess up, but whatever. Let's a lot of this stuff you can find out online anyway, but I will look through that later on. Open this up further. Oop, I think I found it. So there we go. Inside all of this is the strap for the camera. GH5 Lumix strap. I never used that. Right now I'm shooting on Canon T3i, so we're doing a little bit of an upgrade. But I never used the strap on that. I don't see a point to it if I'm doing video. Maybe a little bit of stabilization if you really pull it away from your face. But here's the camera. All right, move this box out of the way. You know what? Let's not take the camera out yet. Let's go through the other stuff first. So here's a little secret compartment. Open that up. Got your power cable. Oh, look at that. USB cable, but the USB is in C. It's a C type. So that's really cool. That's kind of, so it's not quite a micro USB. It's more of an oval. And the cool part with C is that it can go in either direction. It's kind of like Apple's lightning bolt. But it's, I believe, 3.1 USB. So it can do 10 gigabits a second, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Here's the power module to charge the battery. Here's another piece. Not quite sure. Kind of looks like it's for cable management. Guess I'll be reading up on that. And here is the battery. So what's cool with this camera too is that it also takes the same battery as the GH4 and GH3. So you don't have to go replace all your batteries. So I never had a Panasonic camera, so we're gonna have to buy new batteries. I don't think any of my other ones will fit. Alrighty, let's clear some of this out of the way, and let's Look at this thingy. All right. It's a nice little cloth. And here it is. Nice weight to it. Nice build. Again, since I never had the GH4, GH3, I don't know, can't really compare it to those cameras. I know a lot of people are saying that it's heavier than the other cameras. It's a little bit bigger, but part of that reasoning is that it's weather sealed now. You can take it out in the rain, take it out in the elements. It's more designed for documentary filmmaking, so it can be outside. Nice wheel thingy at the top. Oh, it also is capable of doing 6K photos, so that's really cool. Not too many things advertised they can do 6K. It's got microphone inputs. What's this? The headphone output. Now we have full-size HDMI ports on it, so you don't have to use the mini HDMI. Also, here's that C port with the USB port. Okay, what else? LCD comes out, flips around, so you don't have to worry like the Sony camera. The screen only comes out and kind of rotates a little bit. This actually will come out and rotate. It's good for vlogging. What else? We got a lot of function buttons, a lot of customizable buttons on here. SD card slot actually has dual SD cards. So what it's capable of doing is doing relay recording. So once one card fills up, it goes right to the next card. It also can do like a backup recording. So you can record to both cards at the same time. So you have two copies just in case anything happens. It's also capable of doing, I don't know the name of what they're calling it. Basically, you can record pictures to one SD card and video to the other SD card in case you want to separate the two. So that's a cool feature. Then battery. So let's plug that in. Just pops right in there. The only thing I'm not sure if I like is that you gotta flip a switch at the bottom here. I'm used to Canon's just being a little, it's different. So pop this on, camera on switch is right there. Oh, they got rid of the flash on the top. They used to have a flash up there. The thought process is they got rid of it so that they can put better internals in it. So here we go. Here's the menu. Please set the home area. Okay, so I'm near Philadelphia, so it's labeling it as New York. Cool enough. You can change your focal length. 35 mil. Well, I don't have any lens on here, so I'm just not going to change it. And now it's telling me there's no memory cards in it. But it's cool. You can play with some of the settings. Some of the things with it that I didn't understand before I started really reading into it was that when it goes to do like 180 frames a second, it's not actually doing like a 1 second video with 100 frames in it. It's doing it'll record a video at like 24 or 30 frames a second, or I believe 60 frames a second. But it'll record the video at 30 frames a second, let's say that. But if you set it to a variable frame rate, VFR, to say 180 seconds, well, now it's taking, or let's say 60, it's better, easier math. So it'll take you record real time, say you record 1 second of video. Well, now you have it set for 30 frames a second. That video file will be played back at 30 frames a second. But you only recorded a second, but since you set it up for variable frame rate at 60 frames a second, it'll be a 2 second video playing back at 30 frames a second. So now it's half the speed. So you're taking 60 frames a second recording, and playback will now be 2 seconds long at half the speed. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Again, never had that opportunity in the past, so we don't know what to compare it to. So once we start playing with testing and looking at that, I think it'll be something interesting to take a look at and feel it out. I'm used to my T3 is only capable of doing 720 pixels and 60 frames a second. And in that would be a 60 frames a second video. So it'd be real time, but 60 frames a second. So I'm only used to that, and then speeding up the doing speed ramps and stuff in Premiere. So we'll see. I think I might only have to, usually I'd record like an entire event in 60 frames a second, and then I can go back and decide which parts I want to slow down. This, now I have to figure out, we have to choose our shots that are going to be in slow-mo. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I think we'll work with it and see if there's any workarounds or if there's anything I'm just not catching yet. But this was the unboxing of the Panasonic GH5. We'll be coming back with some reviews, some comparisons. Definitely a comparison from the T3i. It's definitely an upgrade from the T3i. T5i, T6i, whichever Rebel line of Canon you got, because those are some of the base models. This is definitely an upgrade. So yeah, I'm Andrew. This was a rival review unboxing with the GH5. Catch you later.